Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes.
Yo, Shuffle Squad, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're looking at an early Roaring Moon EX deck list here that I have made, and I'm excited for Roaring Moon to come out. This is obviously going to be a brand new EX coming in, Paradox Rift, which will be coming out very, very soon, and I thought it'd be a great time to get into some early deck list coverage here over on the Shuffle Squad, and I'm pretty excited to take a look at the list that I've constructed here for Roaring Moon, because I think Roaring Moon actually has a ton of potential. I think it is actually one of the stronger new EX cards to come out in the brand new set. It is a brand new ancient Pokemon that is a dark type, and if y'all are going to want to enjoy today's video here on the Shuffle Squad, leave a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below, and check out all of our sponsors down below if you are interested in any of that. And definitely make sure to use our discount codes at any of the said sponsors if you go ahead and check them out. But let's look at the early Roaring Moon list. So Roaring Moon is a very strong card that can KO your opponent's active Pokemon immediately, and that's all because of its main attack, Frenzied Gouging, which for 2 dark and a colorless energy, knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out in this way, this Pokemon does 200 damage to itself. So knocking out your opponent's active Pokemon for basically, 3 energy, that's pretty darn good. Now, Roaring Moon does have to take 200 damage in return, which is obviously not the greatest thing ever. However, you know what's nice about Roaring Moon? It actually has 230 HP. It is very tanky. Well, not tanky, but it's very bulky for being a basic. And it takes 200 damage. It doesn't get knocked out. You have 30 HP remaining, which is actually kind of insane, to be honest with you. A lot of these, instant knockout attackers, sometimes they have to knock themselves out, like Claydol, for example. The new Claydol knocks itself out. Doesn't even KO your opponent's active Pokemon. So Roaring Moon does have the advantage of immediately killing your opponent's active Pokemon while also not getting killed in return with its own attack. Now, it will have 30 HP, which, you might as well say that, okay, Roaring Moon is going to get KO'd anyways. Well, we do have another card in this deck that does make Roaring Moon a little bit stronger, and that is the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule Tool card. Now, this works on Ancient Pokemon, which, of course, Roaring Moon is, and it states that the Ancient Pokemon this card is attached to gets plus 60 HP, and on top of that, cannot be affected by special conditions. Now, being affected by special conditions isn't super relevant right now in our format, but getting plus 60 HP is kind of crazy. That basically gives Roaring Moon 290 HP, right? That's a lot of health. So when Roaring Moon attacks, it'll still have 90 HP remaining. Now, that's still not a lot of HP, but it is enough to make it, maybe survive a hit in some matchups, and just having that bit of HP boost is good. Now, Roaring Moon does obviously have that really good first attack, and that first attack is going to be so good when playing against VMAXs and EXs like Charizard and Mew, and Urshifu, I guess, but we'll talk about the Mew matchup, because, of course, Roaring Moon has another attack, where if you don't want to use the first attack, which, sometimes you don't want to do, that amount of stuff to just put yourself to 30 HP. Like, if I'm playing against a Lost Zone deck, I ain't doing that, bro. I'm not walking into Sableye. Well, you do have the attack Calamity Storm, which for the same energy cost, 2 dark and a colorless, does 100 damage, and you may discard a stadium in play, and if you do, this attack does 120 more damage, meaning that Roaring Moon is either going to be able to knock your opponent's active out and leave it with 30 HP, or it could potentially do 220 damage. Now, you do have to have a stadium card in play. There has to be a stadium in play for this attack to work. And that is obviously a bit of a downside in a way. You also have to discard the stadium. So if you want to do the big damage, sometimes you have to bump the stadium. Now, there are benefits to this. Obviously, if your opponent has a path to the peak in play, you can get rid of that for free. Much like Lugia V-Star's Tempest dive attack, you can get rid of other stadiums your opponent is trying to take advantage of, like Artisan, Temple of Sinnoh, Collapse Stadium. I don't even know. Just any stadium gets discarded. And that's pretty good. This is your other backup attack. In other matchups where you don't want to knock your opponent's active out, you can pretty safely do Calamity Storm. Like, if you're playing against something like Miraidon, where Roaring Moon is going to be very bulky, you can just go 220 damage, knock out Raikou or Miraidon, right? For 220 damage, and then you can basically leave the Roaring Moon with hopefully 290 HP if you have that booster capsule on. And unless they have a Raichu play, they're probably not knocking your Roaring Moon out in return. So you don't have to just go second attack, knockout the Miraidon. You don't have to do the first attack, sorry, to knock out the Miraidon. You can always just use the second attack. Same thing with chien-pao. You can leave yourself with hopefully 290 HP while you take a KO. Now, Roaring Moon is a dark Pokemon, which is very good. This means we can play a Dark Patch, which of course allows you to accelerate energy very easily to the Roaring Moon on the bench. This is how we are going to try to build up Roaring Moon a little bit easier is we are going to play the Dark Patch. Now, Dark Patch, obviously, we play 4 of, and we have 13 Dark Energy in the deck, alongside cards like Radiant Greninja, which allows you to discard energy from your hand to draw 2 cards. But there's also the brand new supporter card, Professor Sada's Vitality. This supporter card is really, really good with Roaring Moon, and is easily one of the best cards in the deck. It lets you choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon, attach a basic energy from your discard pile to each of them, and then if you do, you draw 3 cards. That is insane. Not only do you get to power up 2 Roaring Moons, I mean, it's only 1 energy, but that's really good because, again, you have Dark Patch and attachment for turn, but you can also draw 3 cards, so you get a bit of draw in return, which is kind of nice. It's basically Melony, but a little bit stronger for ancient Pokemon, and that's really good. So some scenarios, you can just go Roaring Moon, Sada's Vitality, attach a Dark Energy from hand, and then maybe play like an Energy Switch, or you can also play a Dark Patch if you have something in the active with a free retreat or an energy on it. You can pivot into Roaring Moon, making you very easily be able to build up a Roaring Moon in literally just a single turn, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. Now, to support the Sada's Vitality, we are playing a lot of discard effects. Like I said, we got that Radiant Greninja, which synergizes really nicely with Dark Patch and Sada. But we also have cards like Ultra Ball, which is really good. We have PokéStop and Squawkabilly. PokéStop is really good in here because we have a lot of items. We got Dark Patch, Energy Switch, Battle VIP, Ultra Ball, and another brand new item that we're going to talk about in just a sec that can also be good with PokéStop. PokéStop sometimes can also get rid of Dark Energy for you, which obviously is good when you want to get energy in the discard pile for Sada or Dark Patch. Or, of course, we can use it with the Galarian Moltres V that we do play within the deck. But we have the Earth Vessel too, which allows you to discard a card from your hand in order to use this effect. You can search deck for up to 2 basic energies and put them in your hand. So the Earthen Vessel is insane. Obviously, you get to discard potentially an energy from your hand, but you got to get 2 energy out of your deck, which, of course, you can then use with, like, Radiant Greninja. You can attach the energy. It's a really strong card in this deck. It's just more ways to discard energy for the effect of Sada or for the effect of Dark Patch. It's a very good card to play alongside the PokéStop. I've also squeezed in a Mew from Celebrations. I've seen some lists play Mew EX as like a free retreat pivot. I like the Mew from Celebrations, though, a lot because it allows you to... It's a great starter. It's a great Pokemon to have in the active when you open the game up because you are able to do Mysterious Tail, which can find you Battle VIP. We have so many different items in the deck, and I'm also playing a Beach Court alongside the Mew, which obviously can let Mew have a free retreat. So you can go Beach Court, Mew, look at the top 6 cards, and then retreat. It makes it for like... It's a really good pivot with the Roaring Moon. Now, we are still going to be playing some other Dark attackers. Again, we do have that Galarian Moltres V, which obviously does synergize nicely with all the energy in the discard, but it also does have synergy with Energy Switch to build up your Roaring Moon a little bit easier. Of course, if you have a Dark Energy on your Moltres with its ability, Dire Flame Wings, where you can put a Dark Energy from the discard onto the Moltres, you can Energy Switch the energy off the Moltres to the Roaring Moon, attach for turn, and then play Sada's Vitality to build up the Roaring Moon in a single turn. I've also put a 1/1 Darkrai VSTAR in the deck. This deck doesn't really have a VSTAR power, so I've actually included Darkrai in the deck. So we already have a lot of ways to put energy into play. And one thing I like about playing Darkrai in here is it's a really good backup attacker to have, especially against stuff like Lost Box, where, yeah, you like having these big, bulky basics with Roaring Moon, but sometimes having that Darkrai can really make a difference. Of course, we have many ways to put energy into play. One of the cool things with Darkrai is we do have that Sada's Vitality. There's going to be times where if you just have, like, 2 Roaring Moons in your bench, you can get plus 60 damage for free with the Sada's Vitality, then 90 damage with Galarian Moltres V, and then 120 more damage with attachment for turn and any other excess Dark Patches you play, or the Galarian Moltres Baby. You can get yourself you can get a lot of energy in playing 1 turn. I really like the idea of Darkrai in here, not only because it can hit hard with the Sada's Vitality, getting you a lot of extra damage in playing 1 turn, but you also have the V-Star Power Star Abyss, which lets you get 2 items from your discard back in your hand. Really good way to get Dark Patches back, get Rope, get Switch, get Earthen Vessel, whatever you're looking for. The only downside is you can't get the booster energy capsule back, I don't think. It's only items, I'm pretty sure, but that's still really good. Getting back items is obviously really, really strong. And I've also put 2 baby Galarian Moltres in the deck. This is very good when you're playing against something like for example, Gardevoir, right? This is the big matchup that I think Roaring Moon is going to struggle against. I don't know if Roaring Moon actually beats Gardevoir. I know you have, like, the type advantage and stuff, but the matchup definitely seems a little shaky. I like having the two one-prizers in the deck as an attack option. Galarian Moltres, of course, does do more damage as the game goes on, so in the late game, it can hit pretty hard. It's nice to have as a one-prize attacker. And I mean, if you're going to play the Moltres, it is maybe an option to try out Bravery Charm in here, too. Because we do play a lot of basics, but the Energy Booster Capsule is a lot stronger than Bravery Charm on the Roaring Moon, but Bravery Charm is better to have on the Moltres, and even sometimes Squawkabilly if you end up starting with it. You could play a Clap Stadium in here. Some cards you could definitely add. Again, Clap Stadium is a good option. You could play more Celebrations Mew. You could try out Mew EX. I don't hate Mew EX in this deck, but we just don't really have a good way to, like, build it up. I mean, we have the Energy Switch, but you can't use Seda on it. If we play Mew, maybe we could try to squeeze in, like, a Raihan in the deck, too. There's definitely options for other cards to play, but I am pretty content with the 60. The double Galarian Moltres is maybe the most, like, cuttable thing, in all honesty. If you want to maybe go down to one Moltres, add a second Mew, maybe add more draw. The deck only does play the 2 Iono and the 4 Seda and the 2 Boss. But we do, of course, have the Greninja, we have the Squawkabilly. This deck really just tries to rely on just finding item cards, so it's not like the end of the world if you're not playing other items. So you definitely could maybe try a PAL pad in the deck too, because you do play the Darkrai VSTAR, so maybe that's where you can cut the one of the Galarian Moltres in for. You can try that instead. You could try out Bravery Charm in the deck too, again, if you want to have that option of the Bravery Charm to give your basics more HP. You can overplay into the Energy Booster Capsule, but Roaring Moon will be your main attacker a lot of the time. You do have that extra bit of support with the other attackers in the deck, and I like having those single prize attackers. It's kind of like when you're playing Lugia, right? Having the extra Moltres does give you more attackers, much like if you're playing Lugia where you have the Stone Journer and the Yveltal. Similar case with, like, Galarian Moltres in that regard. But yeah, this is the Roaring Moon list here that I have come up with, and I like it a lot. I mean, definitely more of an early draft, and there definitely could be changes made, but I am liking it, the 60, and I think the inclusions of Darkrai VSTAR and the Moltres do add a little bit of extra levity to Roaring Moon, and the Galarian Moltres do help a lot when you need those single prize attackers. And yeah, definitely I'm excited for Paradox Rift to come out. There's a lot of fun new decks to come out, and Roaring Moon is definitely going to be one of them, as I mean, this is literally Salamence, and Salamence is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I can't wait for it to come out. But hope you all enjoyed the video here on today's video here on the Shuffle Squad, and let me know in the comments below what you think of the deck list. What cards would you personally add to the deck? Was I maybe missing any cards that maybe would be good in here? Thornton could be good. I mean, I've seen some people put Thornton. There's a lot of cards you theoretically could put in here, but again, there's only so many cards you can put in a 60-card deck, unfortunately, at the end of the day. But hope you all enjoyed the video, and again, if you are new to the channel, subscribe down below and leave a like on the video and all that good stuff. Check out all of our sponsors down below, and I'll see you all later on another video here on the Shuffle Squad. Peace out.
Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.